I've lived for 75 years, and most of my life has been with gay men who always embraced me and loved me for who I am and never judged me. Hi, my name is 𝐓𝐤𝐤 Mendelssohn, also known as TikTok Bubby. Born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. Here's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Regarding the LGBTQIA community, why am I such a big supporter? Well, in high school, of course, because we moved so much, I never had any girlfriends. The mean girls, the ones that were had the matching socks and shoes and saddle shoes and pom-pom skirts and poodle skirts and all that kind of stuff. They rejected me. I couldn't afford those kind of things because we were poor. The only people who ever loved me, which I didn't know, were gay men, because they loved my outrageousness. I was a little person. I'm still a little person, but I'm littler now than I used to be. I've shrunk. Gay men loved me. In fact, my first gay friend was named Frank Fuglia. We went to the High School of Art and Design in Manhattan on 2nd Avenue. His father worked at the Copacabana. That's where his father worked. He was a clarinet player. So Frank wanted to appear straight, of course, which I didn't know. But he used to tint his hair with, different sprays, different colors. Tips and wings, he would spray his hair. He invited me to the Copa. So I went to the Copacabana with Frank. At 16, my first date, which was with a gay man. As time went along, I went to college, went to Pratt Institute, and I was a singer in the 60s. My father, who happens to be bisexual, this is a thing that the family wouldn't admit to, but anyway, he had a friend named 𝐓𝐢𝐤𝐤𝐤 who wrote, "It's my party and I'll cry if I want to," for Leslie Gore, and he was gay. So I did a demo record for them. And so I sang as a teenager, signed to a management company. I didn't know they were gay. That was another group of gay men who loved me. So then I went to college, got married, divorced that one, and then went out into the world of cabarets in New York, Manhattan, the cabarets like Brothers and Sisters, Reno Sweeney. I was singing at all the clubs in Manhattan. I was a school teacher. Mother forced me into a career being like, you could always be an actress with a degree you can fall back on. Yeah, right into the sewer, the way teachers are treated today, horribly. But, I decided I would start singing in the clubs at night. And my first accompanist was a man named John Wolowitz, who was a very good friend of Bob Schulenberg's, who happened to be an artist, of course, gay. And he gave Barbra Streisand her first look of her eyes with the Egyptian look. And he took photos with her, and he went with her to the Blue Angel. And, he wrote a book about it. Of course, she didn't acknowledge Bob Schulenberg, but I'm acknowledging you now, Bobby, baby, because you're still alive. He was a wonderful illustrationist, artist, and he took pictures of me like glamorous. He had 2 apartments in Manhattan. And so he was one of my very close gay friends and went with me to every nightclub I ever sang at. So there I go. I'm meeting gay men all the time. And I didn't necessarily was interested in straight men. It was only gay men that I loved because gay men accepted me for who I was, and they still do to this day. And they love my stories, and they love the bigness about me and my craziness, and they love all of the drama and the excitement and whatever it is. And I love them for who they are. And they taught me a lot about life. I never knew about sex. Really, I was married to my first husband, but he was like, wham, bam, thank you, man. He was the 60-second man. He shot his load in 30 seconds. That's all I'm going to say about that. Put that in it if you don't want to. It's okay by me. So I didn't know about sex or anything or blowjobs and nothing like that. And all my gay friends taught me about all that kind of stuff. So I got a lot of educational inspiration and education from a lot of gay men. And they traveled with me everywhere. Every nightclub I sang at across the country, in every city, gay nightclub, there was a gay best friend with me always. And I could tell my troubles to, and my heartache, and my sadness, and my this, and my that. And it's just been an amazing ride with gay men. And yes, I've slept with a couple of women. It didn't really, I like dick too much. That's all I'm going to say. Honestly, I mean, that's the truth. It was okay. I know women were interested in me, but I've never really been interested in women. So, I mean, that's my story. But, I'm the kind of person that likes to try everything. You have to try everything once. Otherwise, you don't know if you like it or not. So I'm not afraid to try a lot of things. I haven't been in my life. And my life has just continued with, I've gotten pregnant by gay men, trying to make gay men straight, which forget about it. That ain't going to happen. They're more interested in the boobs than they are the vagina. That's the truth. It's true. So you know what? They get a little feel of the boobs. They're okay. That's it. They don't want to go below the waist. So, God bless them. So most of my life has always been about the LGBTQ. Before it was LGBTQIA, it was gay women and lesbians. I had no idea there were drag performers, which I fell in love with, and a group of us from Brooklyn. After I divorced the husband, moved back in with my mother. We would go every night to the disco Le Jardin. And there were some people like at this club that were amazing. They danced naked. They danced with partners. There was a guy in our building, and his name was Earl, and he used to like to dress in women's clothing. I had never seen that before in drag, and he took me to some of the drag shows in New York. I mean, I was able to see a lot of things I never would have seen had I stayed married to that conservative Republican son of a bitch that I was married to. And I just traveled everywhere with gay men. And then I got lucky, and somebody saw me in a club singing, Catch a Rising Star, and he happened to be gay, and they were opening a gay nightclub here in California. So he brought me out. It was called the Towpath Inn, and I sang in that club, and that was great. And then I met my oldest gay friend here in town, who I'm still friendly with. His name is Michael Hollingsworth. He's the caterer to the stars. And, we're still friends. And, I got sober in AA, very important part of my life. He got sober. I got married and had a kid, and then divorced that husband. Third time's the charm. He accepts me for who I am. He never met a gay person before, or he didn't know before he met me. And now his life is filled with gay men. So, because that's my life. And I just love the LGBTQIA community. And as a result of that, TikTok has opened up my world to so many gay people that I support. Oh my God. And so many trans people that I love. Generation Z, a lot of these trans youth are not afraid to be who they are. And I support you 125,000%. That's my life now. I'm a 75-year-old bitch. I'm an old bitch. That's what I am, an old hag, I like to call myself. I've lived for 75 years, and most of my life has been with gay men, some gay women, but mostly gay men around me who just love me, help me with fashion, help me with sex, did my hair, my makeup, you name it, helped me cook, taught me this, taught me that. If not for them, I don't think I would have been taught etiquette or how to set a table right. All those things that I never learned because my mother was always working to support my father and my brother and I. So she never taught us how to set a table or the right, the right fork to use or whatever. All of those things I learned from gay men and, some gay women, but mostly gay men who have always embraced me and loved me for who I am and never judged me, ever, never, ever judged me for who I was, which is why I am your ally. I will be there for you if you need me. I've had so many friends who have been in jail, and who's out there to pick them up when they get thrown out of jail? Me. Who will be there when you're dying of AIDS? Me. I've had a lot of friends die of AIDS, to be with you and sit there with you and read you my crazy stories and stuff. And I hope I helped somebody today know that it's okay to be you. And if nobody told you they love you today, I love you because you're you. Morning bitches is my thing, and you're part of my bitch squad. If you've gotten a cup from me or a t-shirt or a hoodie, whatever, your TikTok bubby is here for you. That's it.